The man was selling stinky tofu on the street, but someone reported him for selling feces. The guards immediately followed the stench and found him. The one leading the squad was actually his own elder brother. It turned out the man was the second young master of the household, now reduced to selling stinky tofu, all because he had failed the Imperial Scholar exams 3 times in a row. Even the 60-year-old old man next door had passed, angering him so much he fainted on the spot, directly tumbling down the steps, foaming at the mouth and passing out in the street. This utterly humiliated the Wang household. On top of that, he was born from a maidservant, and had repeatedly tarnished the family's reputation. After discussion, they decided to kick him out of the family. When he opened his eyes again, his body had already been taken over by the soul of a modern college student. He had just woken up when he heard his father was going to make him leave. Unexpectedly, this time he didn't make a fuss, and instead left cheerfully skipping and hopping. His brothers were all very surprised. How did this second brother suddenly become so sensible? According to the pattern of transmigration dramas, he would definitely use modern knowledge to make a fortune. Unfortunately, his brain still wasn't very bright. He left without even bringing money or clothes. Just as he was troubled, he saw someone being chased and killed. Frightened, he hid in the shop next door, and ended up hiding together with the person being chased. The woman covered his mouth. The two didn't even dare to breathe. With great difficulty, they avoided the pursuers, but the woman had been drugged, and needed to detoxify immediately. Otherwise, her life would be in danger. Left with no choice, she had to give this kid a freebie. When they were done, the sun had risen. The woman directly threw him a bag of silver, and turned and left. The man was wandering the streets, and ran into the crown prince drinking in a brothel, but he couldn't pay the bill. Thinking it would be useful to make friends with the prince in the future, he lent out the 30 taels of silver he had just obtained. The crown prince was very touched, and on the spot became sworn brothers with him, but what he didn't know was, the woman who gave him the silver was actually the crown prince's daughter. The money had gone in a circle, and was still spent on her father. At this time, the man happened to see the shop owner throwing away moldy tofu. He had a sudden flash of inspiration and bought it all. The owner thought he had encountered an idiot. Afterwards, he set up a stinky tofu stall on the street, at first selling it for 20 a portion, but no one bought it at all, so he had no choice but to lower the price to 3 won. As a result, he didn't get any customers, but the guards came. It turned out someone had reported a person on the street selling feces. The one leading the squad was his elder brother. Without a word, he flipped over the stall. At this time, the princess's carriage passed by. She had just recovered from an illness and had no appetite. She couldn't eat any delicacies. Suddenly smelling the fragrance of stinky tofu, she actually got her appetite back, so she stopped the carriage and got off, wanting to try the taste, but the guards thought the food was unsanitary. However, the princess insisted on trying it. The guards were afraid the princess would get sick from eating it, and immediately warned the man, if the princess got an upset stomach from eating it, his life would be forfeit, scaring him so much he trembled. But unexpectedly, after the princess took a bite, she actually praised it endlessly. The onlookers, seeing this, all took out money. He immediately raised the price to 30 a portion. In the end, he even sold the recipe for 500 taels. After getting rich, he thought of the 30 taels he had lent out. Using the excuse of visiting his elder brother, he actually went to collect the debt. Who would have thought the elder brother called out his daughter? The two were both stunned the moment they saw each other. The woman from that night turned out to be his elder brother's daughter.